And now, BBC One presents an address from London Mayor Boris Johnson.
Hello, America. 'Tis I, Boris Johnson, Mayor of London, here with a brisk chinwag to the nobles of America's United Football Federation. And I challenge you to bring your Super Bowl to London, the finest city on all of the globe. Why, you ask? Well, London is built upon a rich history of royalty and scholars of great renown. Meanwhile, Arizona boasts America's most prestigious academic institution, the University of Phoenix. A prime education awaits, no doubt. The list goes on. In London, Big Ben. In Arizona, sundials. Such a daftly people. Absolutely marvelous. In London, modernized public transportation is our speciality. In Arizona, the day they discover horseless travel will be a revolutionary day indeed. And now that we have that bit of business behind us, our grand city would like to humbly request to host the box score, which commences forth.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the box score. I'm Brock in sunny Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in a sort of snowy hamlet of Milford, Connecticut. Guys, a little readjusting to do after we get back from the Super Bowl. See, what's the hardest part for you to sort of get back into the swing of things?
I don't know. It's actually day 2 for me, so I worked that all out yesterday.
What's that all
when
about?
we got back from work. So, I mean, I don't know. Are you guys still adjusting?
Well, I was here yesterday, too.
I was here yesterday.
You were here yesterday?
Yeah, I've been back for
You know what
a
else?
few days
You know
now.
what else we have in common? We were all here yesterday, and none of us attended the Super Bowl.
No, I flew back early, yeah.
Wait a minute. Dan was at the Super Bowl, and he made it in.
He didn't have a ticket, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he was at the Super Bowl.
He was at the Super Bowl, though, and made it back.
And he was there till late
Is
Sunday
there
night.
anyone on
Well, I
the
was offered really great tickets, but I put the box score ahead of the priority.
Oh,
I
like
wanted
work,
to-
you put
in
ahead.
DirecTV.
TV.
DirecTV, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Does anyone here not fit that bill?
Okay. Maybe I did. Maybe I did attend the Super Bowl.
Maybe.
Maybe I was. Is that not green screen?
Dude, you're on the field.
Well, they were kind of close. The worst part about that, being so close to the field, is having to walk all the way back up to the restroom and get more beers. So in that sense, they were horrible tickets. And we
Well,
had
it's glad to have you back. I'm sure, I'm glad you're doing a shift today, and I know you're going to be off tomorrow because you're getting out early for the Masters. It's only like 3 or 4 weeks away.
You got to stretch out for those things. You got to prep for those things. Fritzy, how about
Good
you?
for you, buddy.
Oh, the guilt just pouring over me right now. Fritzy, you're a guilty guy. How about you? Do you have any guilt associated with being away from the family for a week?
I did not, and the only thing I was feeling guilty about is we were in 75, 80 degree weather, and our families were dealing with like a foot of snow and like 10 degree weather. But once I got out there in the sand and the dirt and the cacti and the palm trees and little Arizona State girls and all that stuff, and a lovely bartender with us all week, I was not all that concerned about what was going on the East Coast. No guilt.
Now, do you think it's because, Fritzy, if you were at home during the harsh weather, you wouldn't be outside snowing or handling the household duties?
I probably
anyway?
would not. My wife, God bless her, she's very good with that stuff. And as soon as it looks like she's about to ask me to do any kind of chore that would involve shoveling or cleaning out gutters or anything like that, I immediately take out my media guides and my notebook and stick my face in the laptop and either actually doing some work or pretending.
Well, Fritzy, if there's any snow out there, maybe you can go to the source, which is Polly's wife, who really knows how to take care of a snowdrift. And Polly, thanks to you, we have another picture of her out there doing it. What are some of your top 3 me-time things to do while she runs the snowblower?
Me? First of all, I love watching her snowblow, shovel, yard work. I mean, she's smoking always, but when she's doing work and I don't have to, that's hot. That's flat out hot. And other than that, napping, eating and napping.
Some video games, I'm
I like
sure.
some video games, yeah. I
know that about
looking for Point Break, napping.
Well, another guy in desperate need of some me time is Johnny Manziel, and Bill Livingston of the Plain Dealer called and weighed in on his struggles during this first season.
It was obvious that he was unprepared, and that the partying had become a detriment to him, a serious impediment to his career. And if he wanted to have all I'd heard from A&M was he's a party guy, but football's very important to him, and he's very smart, and he's playing the game and becoming a respected player and one of the best players in the game is the most important thing in his life. But we didn't see that in Cleveland.
You know what's really interesting about Bill Livingston? There was two ways to approach the story when we debated. Should we have a Cleveland guy on who's known Johnny for 6 months, or should we have a Texas guy who knows the backstory? Bill Livingston sounds like he's from Texas, not Cleveland. I'm like, why is Bill Livingston a good old boy?
He got a lot of compliments on his discussion.
Yeah.
Usually when you have like a columnist or a beat writer on, they're not home runs. They're more of like doubles. They're informational and local kind of take something. But Bill's been there a long time, so it was a good discussion with Dan. I got a couple people said, "Man, this is good radio." So that's really a good compliment because Bill's been on before, but he knows what he's doing.
Well, Seton, I know you're conscious about how you want to portray yourself to your son. You're also known as a partier, and you were shooting off guns down there in Arizona, which you didn't want to really show the kids. Are there any concerns of how you're portrayed on this show?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I sort of embrace it. Well, I think I totally embrace it because I don't really know that I have a choice at this point because anytime there's, illegal narcotics or alcohol mentioned on the show, there's a slow zoom on my face. But every once in a while, it does cross my mind that I'm going to need future employment again, and I've basically spent the last 7+ years branding myself as an alcoholic drug addict. So occasionally that creeps into my mind.
Well, as compared to like the upstanding citizens that we've all.
Yeah, you could be the pervy, masturbating, Chinese food eating person. That can't be a.
Yeah,
That's a niche market.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to really.
We
look at both HR problems waiting to happen
going into the
for our
bathroom all
next
the time.
My
employment.
credibility shot for life, period.
You guys portray all these
He went to
roles,
Columbia.
whether it's a nerd, a perv, partier, and Colin Coward said you guys also sort of portray 35 producers, and DP fired back.
You know what, Colin? I'm good enough to be able to make a mistake in front of 100 million people. Are you? And here's one thing. We all have ESPN muscles. I had them for 18 years. Leave ESPN. Get out and do what I do. Try it. Try a radio network. Try a simulcast. Maybe column for Sports Illustrated. Oh, that's right. Host the Olympics and Football Night in America. And do Sports Jeopardy as well, Colin. Try that. And then we can discuss work ethic. Until then, enjoy your show. Enjoy your life. Because it'll be over one day and nobody will care.
That was an ass kicking right there. That was great. Our boy took care of things right there. I mean, that was Dan could take criticism, but if you're going to say he doesn't work hard, that's a different story. If Colin Coward would have said something like, I don't like Dan's show. I don't like that he uses a bunch of guys and as an ensemble doesn't do himself. Okay, but he said he's not a worker, and I'm a worker, and these other guys are workers. Well, I would assume it'd be really tough to get to Dan's place in the industry if you're not a worker. I just think that would catch up to you eventually, so that was tough. And it was nice that he complimented us that we do the work of 35 men. I mean, that and negotiation time, that's big. See,
Oh,
right?
that's huge.
I think Coward was really, he wasn't going after Dan. He was going after the Danettes. Like, we're 35 anonymous producers. Like, he doesn't know your whole backstory, Fritzy. Like, I guarantee, like, he is totally, like, he wasn't following
I
Jake
see him at
Laser
Whole
versus Steve.
Foods like 5 times a month.
Yeah, 35.
And he
random-
always just like talks
gonna
my
be
ear
fun
off.
next time.
I can't wait over produce.
Yeah,
Like,
just
what's up?
35 producers.
In all seriousness, what if Dan had done that to someone else and totally dismissed his? If you guys are all producers,
Dude, if I was
you were
one
mentioning
of-
his production
If
staff.
I was on Colin's show right now as one of his producers, I would be like, dude, go blank yourself. Like, so we don't do anything here for you. You're just a one-man army. That's great, no problem.
He has producers?
I would, he's got a whole team of them.
More
Of
than-
course
more
he
than
does.
we do.
That's like the thing, every single radio show in the country has a team of producers working on it who are filling in segments, whether or not they're on the air or not. I mean, that's the role of a producer is to help the host fill in segments, right?
Yeah.
So some hosts give their producers credit for the work they do, and some hosts don't.
And you know
that's-
what? We're okay not getting credit, but we're not okay saying we don't do anything. and publicly saying we don't do anything and I do it all myself. When Fritz and I first worked on the Dan Patrick Show, we were not on the air in any way.
Right.
So much so that our names were not mentioned except for Christmas, day before Christmas, once a year. I also want to give a shout out to Paul Papps and Todd for a year work.
Right.
And that is something that was tough to get used to for all of us, because Fritzy's been on shows where...
Because there was someone else that was
you've been
running
on TV shows where your name never gets mentioned once.
But there was someone else running the board at the time.
Got all the credit.
And you would think that person was booking all the guests and producing all the segments and everything. And that was just how it went.
Dan thanked us in many other ways, mostly with our employment and security of our employment. So it's no big deal. But when you get demeaned by a boss like that or an on-air talent like that, you may still work for him, but you'll never really work for him.
Never work a day in your life. The producers on this show work every day of their lives, and we thank you guys. Stick around. We're bringing in the demo crew. Drew Bledsoe tries to bring down the house that Dan built. Welcome back to the box score. A former Patriots quarterback, Drew Bledsoe, was in studio today. Seton, he's no Tom Brady, but did he get your Patriots nerdometer going?
Boy, did he ever, actually. What a hunk. He's a handsome fella, and he certainly fits all the descriptions of Patriots quarterback. And clearly, Tom Brady is just fulfilling a long line of handsome, tall, athletic men. That fella, he got a great handshake, came in, like he doesn't really care. It's fantastic.
Born to be a quarterback.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's got a great handshake because he's got large hands, and Dan asked him to put a football in those hands and try to go through the sheetrock, and he gave it a go.
Now, your son is on the other side of that wall.
I'm trying not to.
You might want to tell Stu that he needs to move out of there.
Stu, watch your head, dude.
Okay.
All
right, here we go.
Ready? I think we hit it. That one hit a stud. Let me see if I can hit it a little farther left. A little farther left. Stu.
No. It's coming.
Oh, my goodness.
I think the ball needs more air in it. I think that's the problem.
Did you hear that?
I think the ball needs more air.
Can you hear that whiz by?
The ball is that tough.
Wow, you have no idea what it was like in person. It was like a bullet train that come through the man cave.
But that ricochet, that's like one of those rubber Super Balls bounce like that, not a football.
Yeah, we're lucky we didn't lose any equipment.
Brock, you know when you watch a football movie and the quarterback throws a laser and you hear that, and it's produced and it's like added in? You could hear that into the entire studio. You heard that. That's what, and twice as loud as I just did. And McLovin was going to stand there and catch it. I'm telling you, we talked about doing it. Not one of us could. We would have honestly had our faces broken.
Buddy, I wonder if we could have done. If he wouldn't throw on the same speed, do you think we could have?
I think you would have broken one of your hands.
Yeah. Even warming up, I'm very, very sure in this area, just from warming up with him. And that Notre Dame ball we use is really sharp.
He's 10 years away from being a prime NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
I think the wall may have been reinforced with wood, which probably saved Drew Bledsoe's son, who was sitting in the green room on the other side, which would have been epic. I mean, a father-son moment like that, taking his kid's head off. But something else happened when that ball bounced back that caught our eye. It's when it reflected off the wall after he whizzed at it, and then Paulie jumped back and sort of fell down. I mean, down goes Paps. So what happened there?
I was scared S-less. Are you kidding me? I couldn't believe how far that thing came back in my head.
It was wiped out.
I was getting out of the area. There's nothing joking about what happened there. I was like, oh my God.
It's like my son running up to our couch and just flipping on.
All right, well, Paulie, your coordination or lack thereof remind us of a very recent DP show lack of athleticism.
Oh man, that was I had a left forearm bruise for quite a while after that. That was not a factor at all. I thought maybe I lift weights periodically.
Little guy tumbling over there.
On me. I thought I'd get a little bit of a block in and stay up more than 0.03 seconds, and he just pushed me aside like a feather. That was pretty embarrassing, actually.
Oh, well, hernia be damned. I hope you're feeling better, Fritzy. Stay with us. The Danettes are calling each other out next. We're back here on the box score. Being in Arizona with you guys for a week was eye-opening. We had some great moments, and then there was some sort of strange revelations about you Forest people, and that got us thinking, What's it like for you guys being around each other all the time? Do you notice good things, bad things? I mean, especially the bad habits, probably. There's only one way we can do this. Let's play.
No! Your
Let's begin in the front row. Paulie, what did Seton say was his worst habit?
Seton's worst habit? Oh, man. I think he's going to say his temper, which used to be his worst habit, but it no longer is. But that may be his answer. I don't think his temper is a bad habit anymore. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. I think that's his answer.
Was it his temper?
I talk to myself all the time, sometimes out loud, and that's probably a bad habit. Does that count? I talk to myself all the time. It's true. I do. I talk to myself all the time, and sometimes out loud, to where somebody will say to me, like, I can hear you, right? Like, oh, sorry.
And sometimes I'll see Seton writing on his pad. He's got a scratch pad with some of the things. I'll hear him say, and that'd be his time. But not very loud, so I wouldn't say that's a bad habit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was a bad one.
Well, let's go to McLovin. The list is long. We're going to have to ask you to use laser focus here. What did Fritzy say was his worst habit?
Laser focus.
Chronic. No, we're not going to go there.
Email? Chronic email, right?
I hope he says raising his hand, pump faking on the raising hand thing.
That's the worst?
For anybody who sits next to him during an actual live segment, yes, it is the worst.
I'm way ahead of the game. That's the worst thing you can think of.
Pump faking on raised hand.
Pumping his hand. That's
was he going Jersey Shore too much?
My worst habit is snacking in the middle of the night and worrying a lot about everything. But I'm going to go with snacking, late night snacks, which has been making it very difficult to drop the LBs.
Wait, so you wake up in the middle of the night and start eating things?
Yeah, it's like some kind of sleep-eat disorder or something like that. It doesn't happen a lot.
Why does that have to be a disorder? It can't just be a choice.
It could be a choice, but like sometimes if you don't remember doing it, sometimes then it becomes something of a disorder.
Give me an example.
You'll wake up in the morning, there'll be like stuff on your face, and you didn't even know.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you feel a little bit of a powdered donut, or all of a sudden there's something in your tooth, it's like, I think that's right. I did have a few Cheez-Its.
Some type of nocturnal glutton situation.
No, but there's actually, I saw a show once. I don't think I have it to that extreme, where people are cooking meals in the middle of the night, half asleep, and they got the burners on.
Man, this is fascinating because one of your biggest problems, at least like that you verbalize, is that you don't get any sleep.
Right. That's
so you refuse to eat during the waking hours and then somehow sleepwalk your way through your refrigerator.
Kind of bizarre, it's odd.
Dude, honestly, you would need like to see a therapist for 4 hours a day every day. You might as well not even start. There's so many issues.
I have to walk down a flight of steps in the dark to get to where the kitchen.
God, you don't want to waste those calories.
It's not like I have stuff set up like chips by the side of the.
Why don't you?
That would make I'd be.
Because
like
wouldn't you be a more
700 pounds
efficient nighttime eater if you had a fridge right next to your bed?
But I keep thinking that
just
I'm
that you like to incorporate food in certain
and then
areas of your life.
I'll never break the habit if I have it that close by.
Yeah.
Instead of turning off the alarm, you put your hand in the nacho cheese. Back to Seton. What did Paulie say was his worst habit?
Oh boy.
Keep it real.
Paulie's worst habit.
And Brock, do you mean here, or do you mean at home?
What's your name again? Fritzy went home with it. I'm gonna take
I think
credit
it's
for
just
everything?
in
Wait,
general.
No, that's not it. I'm gonna say that he's a little anal. If his pen is moved, he's like, "What happened here? Can somebody explain to me what happened to this pen?" Or if the remote control is moved, that's is that a habit or is that a disorder? I don't know. I'm gonna say being anal.
Well, this is too easy. Was it anal?
I'll be honest, I interrupt people. I notice that I do it sometimes. I'm too fast to talk and I interrupt people. I've done it on the show. I know I'm better than I used to be, but I still do it. I think I do it in normal conversation. And I catch myself doing it. I'm like, stop it, dude. So I tend to interrupt people when they're talking. I'm trying to be better.
We miss a mustache, Paulie.
I know, we need the mustache.
God damn, I look good.
Awesome. Just imagine you right now, but with that.
Was Burt Reynolds in the studio last month? I totally forgot. Smokey was here.
Why would I ever shave that? That's like half my.
What a fool! I tried, dude. I'm on the record as saying, buddy, don't get rid of it. You gotta keep it.
It's like fireman Paulie and librarian Paulie.
You know what I love too? That we shot like a whole round of promos that just keep being released during that time. That stash is gonna live on for at least the next 6 months.
God bless it.
Yeah.
All right, finally, Fritzy, what was McLovin's worst habit?
I was struggling with that because I don't really think he has that many
You were?
bad
You don't know him that
habits.
well.
He's a go along, get along
He's the
kind of guy.
easiest
He's
one.
always in a
Honda
good mood.
Accord.
And I sit right next to him, and I'm going to say maybe at times he can be a little diva-ish when he keeps bringing back like the drink isn't just right, or something with his food isn't just right, or he wants makeup. So maybe I'm going to say something where he's become a little bit of a diva in recent months and years once the cameras became part of the show.
All right, was he too much of a diva?
Nick.
My worst habit is that I tend not to say smart things because I'm too scared of overwhelming people intellectually. So I dumb it down.
Dumb it down because you're too smart.
Wow. Did not come up with that.
That comes off as slightly arrogant, huh?
Slightly. No one will understand what I'm saying because I'm far too bright.
Well, shocking.
Maybe we should do row on row with this thing.
Yeah, the winning.
Oh man, I could have picked the back row apart in 2 seconds. But Paulie, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, the winning row is nobody.
Who would ever thought the
Sorry.
pick the back row?
McLovin, you were trying to go intellectual
you do
topper
all
on
day
everyone.
long.
It's too bad you didn't sound so polished on your first attempt.
My worst habit is I'm too smart for my own good. So I know things and I keep them to myself because I don't want to overwhelm people intellectually.
English major at Dartmouth, right? English major?
You have to understand, we're dealing with like one of the worst camera people ever. He's like fiddling, trying to get me in focus. So I'm slowing it down.
So
I'm
the camera
distracted.
person made you trip over your words.
Yeah.
And
basically, I was slowing down. I'm trying
and
to
Fritzy's
perform
disorder makes him eat crazy stuff.
Maybe one of Andrew's bad habits is blaming other people for his mistakes.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe one of everybody in this room's bad habit is that they focus on other people instead of looking inward.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that's what you say about me. Maybe.
Don't go
maybe
away. It
the
is our
worst-
Super Bowl party fantasy draft. Maybe. We are closing up shop here on the box score, as it has been widely reported on TMZ and catfancy.com. Yes, I did attend the Super Bowl, which means I missed super cool Super Bowl parties and consequently a couple flights. But I'm all right, and that means I missed Jimmy Kimmel's party, from which there was a picture tweeted from the member of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones of the Boston Superfans, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Truman Capote impersonator Bill Simmons. So that got us thinking about, what about next year? Let's look ahead to 2016. If you could draft a fantasy Super Bowl party, which two superstars, sports or otherwise, would you have be the cornerstones of your party? Paulie, let's start off with you. We'll go 2 rounds.
Wait, Brock, can you ask that question again?
It's great that we didn't make that completely confusing.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Convoluted and almost unfollowable.
okay.
Yeah.
So you want, it's like a Super Bowl party draft. I get 2 bros to hang with?
Yes.
Does it have to be bros?
I think it's got to be bros. Because that
Whoa.
too easy.
No. You're not going to let me say Madeline Albright?
Yeah, you can. She's hot.
You thought he was going to take her first?
I'm going to go Bill Murray. I got to get Bill at my party. I want to take him off the board right now.
Oh, number 1 pick.
Man, that's... I got Bill Murray. And plus, I'm going to do this as a courtesy. Landon Donovan's a big Bill Murray fan. Landon's a good guy. Landon Donovan and Bill Murray are at my party.
All right, Fritzy, who do you got?
I'm going to go Chris Rock and Billy Joel.
Oh,
that's nice.
With backups of Daryl Hall and Adriana Lima right there in case one or both of them can't make it for some reason.
You need an understudy.
They would be right there. But I think Chris Rock will have me hysterical, laughing all the time, and Billy Joel's Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
What the hell's with the dip?
I just set that piano up. Chris Rock's telling jokes. Billy Joel's playing all the songs.
So you're
I
a Billy Joel fan?
I was huge Billy Joel.
love Billy
When I
Joel.
got glass houses growing up, I thought that was like the greatest thing ever.
Oh, I've seen him in concert. He's awesome.
McLovin?
Wow. Well, first of all, Bill Murray and Chris Rock were my first 2 choices. So I'm going to have to say Dan Patrick, number 1.
Yes.
Steve Hawking.
And Stephen Hawking. That is a party
What a
in
group
a box
right
right there.
Yeah.
You just.
Oh my goodness.
Well, no, he's a fun guy, you know? Guy's in a wheelchair.
Teeing him up.
Seton, who do you have?
That's a T.
He's a hero of mine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say
Great
Derek
party.
Jeter, because obviously, who
bring the
doesn't want to
ladies
watch with him?
and the baskets.
And then I'll say Dave
I want to
Grohl.
play squares.
Derek Jeter and Dave Grohl.
Is that who he's got? Okay. Boy, you left one hanging out there for me, McLovin. Ina Garden, barefoot Contessa McLovin. Why would you miss that? And of course, Fritzy Josie, the bartender. Massive oversights on your part. Thanks again to Josie.
Josie. Give it up, Josie.
Fritzy,
Yeah, Josie.
the man responsible for her happiness Super Bowl week, who is on tomorrow?
The bus, Jerome Bettis, recently will be selected to the Hall of Fame, will be with us. We may hear from a couple of Patriots at or on their way to the
You
parade.
mean people who are just proud of our country, or people who play for the football team?
Football team. Okay. Shane Vereen may stop by.
Dude, you know what's crazy?
And maybe Malcolm Butler. We're working
Watching
on some other things
the
as well.
Super Bowl, I watched it with these two fellas who couldn't really speak very good English, and one of them said, "I love Yankees," and like he referred to the people we were with, Americans, as Yankees.
You're kicking it with Cheech and Chong?
I've never been referred to as a Yankee.
You are a Yankee. Thank you, Yankees, and thank
sidebar.
you for watching The Box Score. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on Audience Channel 239. If you're out and about, catch the podcast available on iTunes or podcast1.com. See, Mom, I'm okay.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!